Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In this video I am going to discuss modern linguistics. So we'll cover emergence of modern linguistics, principles of modern linguistics, and then we'll discuss Ferdinand de Saussure and his linguistic science, and then Roman Jacobson, Edward Sapir, Paul Kris, Noam Chomsky, Eve Clark, and the Steven Pinker. So let's get started by discussing the emergence of modern linguistics. So modern linguistics emerged in late 19th and early 20th century with the shift of focus from historical concern of changes in language to the idea that language can be viewed as a self-contained and structured system situated at particular point in time, and this forms the basis for structuralist linguistics. Start of modern linguistics, it emerged, I already told you, late 19th and early 20th century. Language, it's a self-contained and structured system in modern linguistics, and then phonetics and phonology, they were dominant. About phonetics and phonology, that deals with the sounds of language, and then IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet System, was established in 1886, and then Henry Swift's work Saussure propagated that language is a system of arbitrary science. We'll discuss this in detail. So, according to modern linguistics, language, form, meaning, and content, we'll see it's a scientific study of grammar, largely based with the Noam Chomsky work of generative linguistic grammar. And Noam Chomsky, in linguistics, he is very famous and he is known as father of modern linguistics, and he wrote Syntactic Structures in 1957, and he laid down the foundation of non-empiricist theory of language and generative grammar as well. And it's a grammar that describes language in terms of set of logical rules formulated so as to be capable of generating infinite number of sentences. Modern linguistics, so we'll see mental grammar, that is generative grammar stored in the brain that allows to produce language. Sentence structure, that is competence plus performance. Language use, the social side of language, and social variation, we'll see. Okay, the principles of modern linguistics. The principles of modern linguistics include integrativity, and then anthropocentricity, communicativeness, and dialogicness, and discursiveness, culture centricity, interest in deep language knowledge. So Ferdinand de Saussure, we see his contribution in linguistics is probably the linguistic science. So he was a Swiss linguist, and he is widely considered to be one of the forefathers of both linguistics and semiology. Semiology, branch of linguistics that deals with science and symbols. So he introduced the idea that every word is a linguistic sign which consists of two components: the signifier, which is the physical existence of something, and the signified. We'll discuss that in detail. Okay, signified, that is the mental concept. So the conceptual meaning underlying the signing, that is signified. And so let's understand this by the word dog. Dog is a furry animal that is commonly used as a household pet. And socio-articulated arbitrariness of linguistic sign, the phonetic form and underlying concept of the word dog that have no natural link, with fury, and they are product of social interaction. So this arbitrariness of meaning and form is fundamental tenet of modern linguistics. Another important figure is Roman Jacobson, and his work include distinctive features. So he was a Russian-born linguist, and he changed the way scholars study phonology branch of linguistics that deals with the that deals with the sounds of language, but that treats sounds as an abstract entities, not the physical entities. So he proposed the idea of distinctive features, which suggests that all sounds of a speech are marked by binary contrast, which can be described and quantified. And so he to classify the sounds of language in an organized and hierarchical structure, which has previously been impossible. He done this, and Edward Sapia, his work include the linguistic relativity. So he was a linguist, anthropologist as well, and his famous concept known as linguistic relativity, which is developed with his student Benjamin Worf. And this hypothesis in strongest form claims that language one speaks drastically influences the way in which one perceives the world, and this hypothesis has been largely dismissed by modern linguists, and it caused significant discussion and considerable consideration about the link between language and culture. Another important name is Paul Kris, and his work includes the cooperative principle. Paul Kris is one of the most important contributors to pragmatics. It's a branch of linguistics that deals with the practical meaning, and there is the study of contextual meaning, context contribution to meaning. And his best known idea is cooperative principle, which break down how people behave in conversations in order to enable effective communication. And he articulates that the speakers must be truthful, relevant, and unambiguous, and must say neither too much or not too little. So if a speaker violates one of these principles, these are known as maxims and GRICE terminology. So communication is compromise, and a classic example of violation of cooperative principle is if somebody say to you, I love you, do you love me? And you answer yes. This is saying too little, which suggests that your answer must be a lie. Okay. And then Noam Chomsky, the most famous name in linguistics. So he's famous for many things, and his work famous idea include idea of universal grammar, which possesses that all languages have the same underlying structure and simply use different words and sounds on surface. And his claims are, okay, let's wait for a while. Okay, his claims are biologically equipped with a language acquisition device, LAD, language acquisition device, which endows us with innate ability to learn language. And cognitive scientists, historians, social critics, philosophers, they call him as father of modern linguistics. Another important name is Eve Clark, who was the first language acquisition, who talks about first language acquisition. And so in order to understand how it's been learned a second language, we must also understand how we acquired our first language. And she is prior to this process of acquiring first language in the field of acquisition. So she revolutionized the way in which we understand how children pick up language from babbling to coherent speech. She proposed theories and cited evidence that sheds insight into mystifying topic of how children learn their first language so successfully and efficiently. Ultimately, this information will help us understand how to maximize efficiently in second language acquisition too. And another important name is Steven Pinker, and his work include popularizing linguistics. So in his worldly popular books such as The Language Instinct, he argues for a biological basis of language acquisition, and he proposed that language is an instinct. Okay, instinct in biology, a behavior which, like any other instinct, formed by natural selection, and has adapted to suit humans' communicative needs throughout time. And his accessible, fun to read books have made great strides in popularizing the fields of linguistics and making it accessible to those outside the realm of academia. So, nowadays, linguistics is a rich field with subdivisions: sociolinguistics, psycholinguistics, neurolinguistics, and many more. And still, these 7 prominent figures are a good starting point if you are looking towards linguistics. So this is all for today about modern linguistics. Hope you understand. These are further links and the notes of these videos are available in the description of this video. Hope you understand. Thank you for watching.